Ugh. God, this lighting. What do you do? What do you do? Hello, people. Camera looks like it's cutting out a little bit. Let's see if this helps. Not really. Hey, guys. Yeah, we talking about mediumship today. We're going to talk about mediumship. The tricks and the trades. And there's a lot of tricks. No one's talking about it. So, yeah, we're going to talk about mediumship. I'm just going to wait till we get to a certain number. And I just was going through my book today. And it's on chapter 133 for the page. And it's just something I put in the book 2017. And I want you to listen to this. Strong words. But when I say these words, it has to do with being correct, authentic. So, would estimate 90% of psychics and mediums exaggerate for entertainment. And I don't believe in that, so we're going to talk about that spiritual truth. Because those words and those ways of putting it is not really helping the mediumship side of things. It's actually just entertaining you until you move on to another situation and you look back and it confuses you. It confuses the client. And it reflects in a bad way. So there's a difference between true mediumship for spiritual people that have been chosen to work on it and do it their lifetime. And then there is the entertainment side that is very much an entertaining field. You have to look at those on two divides of what you're wanting. There's the excitement of the entertainment, going to these big premieres and, everybody going, and not, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get picked for this. This is in big coliseums and stuff. That's entertainment. And then there is a smaller balance of people that are actually looking for answers and wants real energy to come in. And so there's a big difference. And I don't talk about it much because it's such a difficult stage for people to be in. They get very sensitive, especially the way I present it. And it's just because I've been thrown in it. When I was thrown in it, like spirit throws you in a situation with it. My dog's a lot better. It's a lot better. And once you're thrown in it, and spirit's good at throwing you in a situation and putting true mediums in the situation, and they're like, are you going to keep your mouth shut? Or are you going to say something? Well, I know if I say something, they're not going to be happy for me saying it, but I know what else is new when it comes to mediumship. So they put me in situations, spirit did, to learn my lessons with it. Because I never thought I was going to do a group setting of mediumship. But what got me to do it is the way they were doing it. And the feeling of those souls feeling lost, leaving, and not completed. And I wanted to correct that. And so what you see on Hollywood side and all these celebrity psychics and all this stuff and all this celebrity. It is celebrity, but it's entertainment. It is entertainment. There is a very clear line on that. And there's a side that does the work and is thinking, gosh, I hope everybody tonight got their message across and everybody was satisfied with the message and I passed the message on the right way. You wear that burden, you wear that responsibility of sending them out with the message from the loved one and that you did honorably good for them. And that's what matters. It does. It matters. So, and I don't know how this is, but I like the ones that don't believe. If I'm in a setting of the one, I find you can feel the energy of the most, like, I don't believe in this. I go after them right away. Because if you can find a soul like that in a setting like that, that is completely turned around about it, and you just dive into what Spirit tells you, their whole demeanor, their way they express things, it's all tight and like stiff when you go in, and they're all like, no, I don't believe this, right? But as truth comes in, you see the body language starting to loosen up, and they give way and they give in. Those are the hard ones. And then you can feel their energy just totally give into it. And those are the ones that after you give the message, they don't shut up. I'm just saying, they ask again and again because you got them at a moment that they came in the door thinking there's no way that this could be true. And I think that's the difference between people who don't believe and the ones that are entertained, because when you are 100% loyal to that spiritual information and trust it 100%, you know that information is going to come in. That entertainer doesn't know what line they're going to use today, or what have they used over and over that has not worked for that. But the real medium is just going, okay, Spirit, come in and teach me what I need to show them, the proof, so it can heal the living. So each setting that I do galleries, and I don't do many, is because each one's very serious to me. And each soul that comes in is very serious to me. And so I'm actually in front of the person, and I actually, for gallery settings, I'm not even really seeing them. I'm just connecting with that person they want to talk to and letting them have the grandstand of it and letting their information come through. So that's the thing, how you can really understand the doubt. If you have the doubt and you're seeing a dialogue of entertainment answers from a medium, because that's the same thing that'll apply to everybody. I'm saying this because no one talks about it. I'm saying this because it's secret, because they all get away with it. And there needs to be a divide down the middle and split. Because and there's situations I just go, well, boy. And I'm like checking in with them going, And I'm telling ones that are murdered, completely murdered. And the cops didn't know the information. They couldn't find a gun or whatever. And I had a family member. And the Spirit comes in and says, where's the gun? Well, where's the gun? And even the cop and the family member like, well, we didn't look for the gun. That's what I'm saying about letting them have the podium. And then that information backs up and then they find the gun. That's what I'm saying. That's that individual situation of that Spirit relaying information for that situation and for that soul. Precisely. Not I have an Afghan on my bed. Not that, not at all. These are precise DNA mediumship conversations of that soul. We need to start dividing from the entertainment side of the mediumship field to the real information that works through spirit. And I will tell you, you have spirit and you. There is no room for a producer to come in and decide how spirit can talk to you. No, not ever. Not ever. So it's either you pick your gift and work with spirit and help and heal people, or you pick the entertainment field and the producer controls and gets the information and tells you how they need to roll it out. It looks really good. It sucks you in really good. Doesn't work that way. So I've seen a lot of it. I've been present in a lot of it. And my students, when I teach them and I take them to a setting like that, and I'm literally, they're in the back screaming, going like this, why can't you say something? Oh my gosh, they're wrong. And that's because they've been trained to stay in the information and not entertaining. And then it's excruciating to listen to a lie and just drag it out till that hour's over. And then they don't have to be called on it. So that's why pictures, they literally show their life. They show their past. They show what they did for a living. They show what they drove. They show music. They show what they wore. All of it. All of it. And so you look at the situation and you go, it has to connect to that personal person completely. And that's what changes it, because there's personal things on a balance level that nobody knows except that spirit completely. So not only that, when you're in that energy like that, there is an energy there that you can feel. And it's strong, and that information is consistent. So, that's the whole thing about this is, I'm thinking, gosh, when am I going to talk about mediumship? Because there's a lot going on out there. And with those ones that do the mediumship, it doesn't matter. We don't have to be physically in front of you. We don't, we can do it over the phone, because it's actually even easier over the phone, because we are just tuning into that whole frequency of the energy. Nothing is distracting us. When you're physically in front, it can be a distraction, and you're trying to get the tone of the spirit coming in. And that distraction, that entertainment. So when I'm in that, it's a stressful situation, because I'm trying to keep it authentic. And then you've got that in their minds, how it's supposed to be an entertainment situation. One time I had probably over 90 people in one place, and they think they were going to get Teresa Caputo. Oh boy, did they learn quick. And the whole atmosphere got serious quick, because they're like, whoa, now you're talking about real things. Yeah, this is a real deal. This is not a joke. And then that atmosphere changed. And then they started listening. And they stopped making fun of the situation, and they're like, this is serious. And they, at the end of the night, they were more respectful toward the situation and were open to it, and were talking more about their incidents, because then they figured it out. It wasn't about entertaining them. It was actually about bringing messages over. And so that changed. They tell me places where they hang out. I had this one kid, he lost his dad. And he showed me. This is what he's doing. That's what he's doing in the garage. He's drinking. He's looking at my pictures. These are the pictures. These are the gas station pictures. This is what I'm worried about him. And at that moment, that kid dropped to the ground because there was nobody in there. There's no one around witnessing this. They tell you things that you do personally that no one has witnessed around. That's what I'm saying. There needs to be a divide in this because there's two sides to this. If you want to be entertained, it's there. But if you want the truth, you really need to look at that. And that's why I say in this book, we talk about it. I'm literally, that was 2017. And it shows it right there, 90%. The rest of the field is entertainers. So I'm just saying that because I've sat back and done research for many years on this and looked at it. And Spirit's like, it's wrong. They're leaving them hanging. And that's the thing. You have due diligence here when you're gifted with this to do what is right. And I'm just saying this because this is a discussion that no one's talking about. Everybody just slowly doesn't say anything, just slides under the carpet. Well, you know what? This is at the time and the age that we are in that we need to know the truth. The truth. So, and like I said before, in a gallery setting, waiting for either a lower level spirit or a higher level spirit, but it can come in and act like whatever you want it to act like. It can be that person's grandma. But if you know the exact energy and that's that frequency that it's supposed to be, and you make sure that your gatekeeper is making sure that there are no other ones acting like that and brings that information down, let me tell you, there's no dropping that information. They are bringing it in fast, and they are showing you a lot of information, and it's accurate and it's dead on. So the gatekeeper for me, I'll explain this, guys, to you. So everybody says spirit guides. It's not like that for me. It is one massive, huge energy that's been with me forever that filters information in and out. And it's not an earthbound level. It's way above. Everything comes through it. All my information is dialed in through it and is making sure that everything is fair. When something is not supposed to be in my area or trying to get in, it shuts me down. Like, nope, something's interfering. So if you go up, just look at it this way for mediumship, go up high, and you're feeling that presence. And then that presence goes to another angle of information, pulls that information down. That's what I'm telling you. So, and then you get that consistency language that comes in. It flows. It doesn't drop. It keeps going. That's what changes people. Because I love to take those ones that do not have any indication of this could be true, and set them in front of me and just say the first name. That's all you got to do. As they're sitting there, and that's why you should be getting a reading, their body language changes. They loosen up because the more that you're talking, you're not asking questions, you're just relaying the information. Their whole structure of the body changes. Because down deep inside the core of the soul, they know 100% you're talking to that person. And so it's not something, like something like, oh, he liked bikes. No. Yeah, I like to fish. I mean, come on, everybody does that. Every guy does that. You know what I'm saying? And then you're getting a reaction. So this is more of the DNA of that person. They'll say what they wore the day before they died. They'll tell you their physical conditions. They tell me their physical and how they died and then what they felt when they died. And they express that to them. I mean, so That's important to know the accuracy, and I mean in a way it's a light of energy that comes down that your doubt side will not even be there because you feel the consistency of the information just keeps coming in and coming in and coming in. But that other side, spirit, they were just like, everything that we put in front of you, and you choose our path to help people get where they need to in life. We take care of you. Spirit takes care of you. So any mediumship, healer, prophet, anything they deal with, they should know that should not be a worry. Shouldn't be a worry. They give you what you need. Enough, not overly indulging. Because the other side is entertainment, and it's about profit and money. And then you don't even really own yourself anymore because you've been bought and paid for, and they're running the show. That's got to be horrible for the soul and your own soul, because there's no way out. You're stuck in a situation because that name and that brand makes money. So I'm just saying this in a way of not naming names or anything like that. I'm just telling you there's a discernment in between the two. And so those are things to be pointed out. Those are things to be paying attention to. So being honest. It's so easy to be honest. You don't have to remember anything. I'm telling you, you don't. I'm telling you, I had a local one, and I had to do these events all day, and I'm telling you, I flies just won't go. But it's and your brain's exhausted, I'm telling you, when I'm sitting there doing these all day long, and they all want answers, so I keep going and keep going. But then all of a sudden spirit comes in and like, Jenny, yep. And I'm hearing the medium behind me, and I'm like, if he uses Archangel Michael one more time in a mediumship, I am gonna choke him. We are not down here on earth in every reading catering to every entertainer or medium. We teach you the skills to do the work and to show you to do the work. They are not sitting there assisting humans and waiting for each reading. Come on. They have pushed that bargain program, angel here, angel there. They're all in those readings. It's not like that. And I'll tell you something that is true. Past loved ones say this to me all the time. And it's funny. They're like, well, sometimes they think, we're around them all the time. And they're like, well, we give signs that we're around, and we come in once in a while. But you did not listen to us when we were on earth. How would you think that we're going to get you to listen when we're on this side? That's what they say. It was hard enough when we were there. So they say we only come in and specifically pull an energy in and give you specific signs, and then we leave. But they say, I'm not their guardian angel. I am not in that process, and I tell people I'm honest about it when they say it. So it's true, though, if you think about it. We don't listen to them when they're here. So it's even going to be harder when they're passed on. But they do come in and give signs. And it's funny how you pick up those one signs when you know it's them. And that energy flows with it. But yeah, they get annoyed when they overly use Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel for everything. But it sells. It sells you right into a class. It sells. It seems it's easy. There's no narrowing in on a technology of that answer, that exact answer. It's Broadway. Because I'm all about the DNA and the details. Let's get it narrowed down into the truth. Truth. So, I don't know. Some people might be offended the way I'm presenting this, but I have to tell you, this is what I've been seeing for years and years and years and years. And I tell you, some when I did recently in a gallery, I'm telling you, it's hard. It's so hard. And this is what's bad, okay? Everybody in the crowd usually knows someone's had a heart attack. Okay, when you just lay someone died of a heart attack, the whole 20% of the crowd knows somebody who's died of a heart attack. Now you're working on their hope. You're working, and then they're analyzing in some way, trying to fit that in to them. That's not fair either. So then they're waiting for a hit, just waiting for a hit. You'll hit this. It'll hit. And then when it hits, they use that. That's what I'm saying. It's a trick. And then, I see it, and then the spirit's above them, and they're not even seeing them, and they're going off on the entertainment side. So it's excruciating sitting there, seeing that, and I'm just pushing myself down, going, it's hard. It's really hard, because the spirit's like, no, that's not me. That's not me. So I've only gone to maybe 3 or 4 in my life, and I probably won't be in a long time again until that changes. So I'm showing you guys the truth, because the ones that are developing mediumship need to know the truth. That have the gift, follow spirit. Push that entertainment, celebrity, medium away. All of that glamour has nothing to do with spirit. It has nothing to do with it. What has to do with it is you staying true to spirit, and whether you like what they have to say or how they have to say it, but you can go home at night and go, I did the best I could to bring the message. And then what's funny is those people call you back 2-3 years down the road, and they're like, everything he said came true. Everything that happened was there. I found this. I found that. And that line that's, long line, that is telling you, spirit is telling you, you seek the truth, and they follow because they seek the truth. And your heart gives, and it's an expression of when you're really bringing the healing to a person through mediumship. They get over things overnight over it, because you are clarifying. So that's why I cannot understand that playing into the entertainment side, because it's not a joke. It's not something to bring that type of energy and try to entertain people in, because those are serious conditions, serious situations, and what you say could make a person commit suicide or accept the light. And if you lead them down the wrong path, there are consequences. And that's why there's a big responsibility in mediumship. But every time that you lead them down the path and they go out that door, you could feel the difference, because they're going to be back and ask more questions. And the ones that panic, and when they don't get the answers right and they're on the entertainment side, they try to change the subject, try to hit something that's going to hit strong. They're going to get a win with that one. And I'm just telling you, that's how it works. That's how it works. And us real ones that have to do the work on a daily basis have to go back in and correct those, because they're so distraught over information that was not true. And I have to do it all the time. So yes, I'm expressing and I'm telling you about the difference. So divide it, because it's there. If there's a big name now, and if there's a entertainment field behind it or a production company behind it, you need to look at it different, because you will be entertained and you will enjoy that entertainment. But then there's the side, do you really want true answers? Then you need to find a real medium. So it's important to kind of go over that. And that's when I'm kind of going to go into the students. When I teach students for mediumship, it's literally that I give them these tools of how those levels come in and how they can pull that down. And at that point, they have to decide what type of medium they're going to be, and how they're going to lay their technique down and how they feel comfortable with spirit and how they work together. And it was funny one time, I had a student and I left her out of the room. I said, "No, you're on your own." Oh my gosh, she could have had a heart attack. And she was freaking out. I'm like, yeah, because she has to get used to working with them and stop worrying about if she's right or wrong and start trusting what they are saying. And when you start to flow with them, a 3D fear will go away. So that's the thing about mediumship, is the point of it not being right or it's going to be wrong, it kind of goes away when you're really tuned into that and you're seeing consistency of them staying on top of things and your relationship with that connection is coming in and it's strong. I'm a fast reader for mediumship. I mean, I know before I even ask the person and they're just holding back and spitting it out. And they were like, whoa, that was fast, And so that's the thing about it, is you have to decide, am I going to work for the light and spirit and it's me and them? Or am I going to turn these flies, I tell you, am I going to want the ride, the glamour, and all the fun stuff and the entertainment side? But let me tell you something. Those people don't have a conscience, man, because you go home, that would eat me alive. That would tear at my soul every day. I couldn't handle it. Ain't nothing worth feeling that way. So you get out of balance, you do too much, then your message is getting shorter and you can't handle it, and you're overly processing and the messages are starting to get messed up. And so you got to find balance too in these messages and how you're doing it. And you can't do mediumship through cards. It's just impossible. There's only so many answers on those cards. Cards are for basic training of understanding, especially mediumship. It just doesn't exist. So your certain question, the only question you need to ask during your reading is when they present, say, all you do is give them the first name. The first name. At that point, that connection up there should be like, okay. And I'll tell you why I tell you the first name. My spirit are not about wasting time. They're like, let's get to the point. Just say the first name and let's connect up. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, it might be this person, it might not. There we go with those walk-ins and deciding. And then you see that energy just dive. And then like, oh, that's not him. Then we move on to another. You're wasting time. So let's get into the truth here and just say the first name. Doesn't really give you much information. First name. And then your guide connects that information. Gatekeeper starts pulling that information in. Like I said, the evidence should show it. And then you get into a sync that you're not doubting it at all. You're flowing with it. And you see it in their face, in their expression, and their expressing that they're going through it. I mean, I've done one, a year ago, and the father came in and he showed me in the hospital. He goes, they gave me the wrong medication. They gave me money for being on dialysis, and I was on dialysis. And he died right in the bathroom. And that nurse covered it up. And he showed me that scene. And his daughter came in, and she was carrying the burden, you would not believe, just wanting to know. And down deep inside, there's something that tells them before they even get there what has happened. And they need it clarified. Without saying a word, I just tune into the spirit. And when I told her the dialogue of what he said, she fell to the floor. And she thought everybody thought I was crazy. I knew something was wrong. I knew this didn't make sense. And you know what? She got an attorney. They don't want to do a biopsy. They didn't want to do anything. They wanted to cover it up and hide it. They don't want to talk about it no more. So, they tell you a lot more than you think. They give details, really good details. You know, to the point where when I do mediumship, sometimes people don't leave wills. They don't leave wills. A lot of people don't leave wills. So the family goes, here's all the stuff. What are they saying? Those are stressful situations because I tell them exactly what they say, and then they may not agree, but that down to the core of it, they understand. They're like, there's no way you know all this, and this is the best way we can do it, and they're satisfied with that. So, and what I'm bringing on here is as you're developing in mediumship and you're growing in that development, really decide that level of where you're going to be. Because if you're in this all the way, you really do want to pick the light and know that spirits will take care of you in any situation. And I have students for a while, they'll go to the entertainment side for a while, and that's their choice because they have to go through that to understand where their balance is. And then they end up coming back and going, you're right, I can't live with it. I can't take it. And then they start correcting themselves and start doing their work they wanted to do and not someone in coming and telling them what they need to do. And they find a balance in that. So, I do teach it, but, it's to those ones that are called to it. So that's the thing about it. I mean, it's the lesson that Spirit puts in front of you and how they lay that in your path and how you get through it really matters because that's growing your strength and your character with them, and you trust it more and more and more. Like I always say, you don't have to remember the truth because it pours out of you, but you do have to remember lies. You do. You don't remember. You have to cover the lie that you did before, and don't got to remember. Did I tell this line before? I mean, it's not good. It's just not good. So I'm bringing up a subject no one talks about because I wrote about it in the book and I talk about it, but it's something that needs to be talked about because it's a divide. It's a true divide. And let me tell you, they don't pick strong mediums in the entertainment field. They pick weak ones. Because the strong ones know there's no way. And the ones that I know that are completely do this day in, day out, they love what they're doing. They have a content life. They love what they're doing. They're like me. They don't have maybe 2 or 3 days off a month, but we like it. So when you're developing it, there's just stages you go through of how it comes in, and you, it's this. It's funny. I'll go into a story. So this one gal, she wanted it so bad, and I'm just like, you have to wait because your trust has to be built up before you get to that level. Spirit is not an app. You can't just turn the app on and then all of a sudden it's done. So that's the thing about it. It's not. We want it done fast. It's like, that's not the way it goes. Boy, do they put us through some terrain of things. And just when we think we're down on our knees and going, I cannot do more. And then all of a sudden, there's this enlightenment situation that blows in your face, and you're in a credible situation, and you see the healing in front of you. And that's what gets you through. That's what really gets you through. That's what changes you. So that's the thing. So it's a subject. You see them all everywhere. They talk about it, self-proclaim. But the ones that are really doing the work, you're going to know the difference because of the language that they speak and how they present it to you, and the authentic way. And that's what matters. It's not a numbers thing. It's a accurate and healing and sincerity and truthfulness that makes that special interpreter of medium a good one. And nobody remembers the bad ones. Nobody remembers the bad messages. Because when the good one comes in, that's all they remember. So it's just an important subject that I've been, wrote about it in a book and put it in there. And it gives you a diagram what to go by when you are getting a reading. And it's just a subject once you're going down that road of things. As mediums, you have a different life. You avoid certain things. But I'll tell you this. I'm in a public place. I do not push my energy or embrace and push my information onto somebody. I'm very respectful of that. And you're pushing a belief onto them, and they may not be ready. So I don't approach anybody in public, ever. And especially in a way where they're not ready for it. I find a subtle way, and I don't make sure the limelight's on me to show them that. I'm very subtle and very, low key with it. And when I have to present it, to them in a very evidence way. I do not go to restaurants, and I do not go to public places, and I do not express anything or talk to anybody that way. I just don't do it that way. Because Spirit says you either express it and show them what you need to show them in a very delicate way, or you get out of the energy. Get away from it. So that's the thing. For certain questions for mediumship, you don't have to ask. You just say, what's the name? Okay. Sit there for a good 10 minutes. Don't get all hyped. Don't get all thing. The only thing I would tell people when they're actually accurate, your body is gonna give in and see that it's gonna change a little bit. But let them talk. That's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for those results. Let them express the truth in that way, because it's important. So I just really is one of the things about me is it's not like the churches and the entertainment side, this all man control situation. It's literally building your relationship with Spirit and listening to them. It is. And it's phenomenal what you learn when you listen to them. And that's why with, information that I get, I don't rely on man. I rely on them when I need it. And I think that's why people chase my information so much. And I'm talking about ones that it's a circle and you're just hearing the same thing over. It's because I trust them. And when they present something, it's because it needs to be presented at that time and people will listen at that time. So I kind of wanted to talk about this, and you can read it in the book or go over it. It's on Amazon too. And if you're opening up to mediumship, these are areas you need to think about before you tackle these sources and go into the job. No. Before you go into it. And so it's a serious situation. That's why I don't advertise that I teach mediumship, because it's definitely picked by the spirit, and those are representatives of spirit relaying information. So it's a serious situation. It is very serious. So if you guys got my website, and if you have questions, you can send them to my email or put them below. But this is just a subject that's been on my mind that I wanted to talk about. And I could tell you that most of my students that teach mediumship, they're pretty good. And even when they didn't think they were going to be good, but they learned to do it the right way, they're doing really good right now. Because they always go back to that original understanding of relationship with spirit. Because that's always has their back. So, you guys have a good night. You guys take care. And I will talk to you soon. Good night.